What's good, y'all? It's your boy. Vacation time with Ryan, man. I'm out here. I'm going for a nice little nature walk slash run slash jog or whatever. As you can see, there's people out here jogging, running and all that. But so I figured I'd give y'all a story time while I'm out here, all right? Check the views real quick before we get started. There you go. See, nice, beautiful nature walk, and let's get into it, all right? All right. Once upon a time, a young man named Vacation Time with Ryan wanted to take a trip to an island. The island is called the Dominican Republic. This young man is falling in love with this island, loves visiting the island. Upon visiting, this young man, why am I talking why am I talking like I'm not talking about me? All right, let me stop. Let me get real. So I know I'm going to DR. I like to meet people before I get there. To me, what that does is it just minimizes a lot of the small talk. You can handle all the small talk before you get there. You know, you guys see what I do for work. I go live from work sometimes. So you see what I do. I have time on my hands. So for me, personally, I like to do what they call pre-gaming because I just feel like it just gets rid of a lot of the small talk. When you go somewhere and let's say you want to meet a regular person, right? You go, you meet them, you invite them on a date, you get to know each other. As you guys are getting to know each other, it's gonna be like, hey, you know, what are you into? What are you into? Where you coming from? A little bit about your background, how you grew up. You know, just the basic stuff. You can tackle all of that before you get there. You could even build a connection through video calls before you get there. So you talk on video and you build a little vibe with different people. Now, I'm a little bit more experienced, so I understand. If you focus on one individual, what could happen to you, what happens a lot to a lot of people, you get there and that one person that you held a high stake in, they flake on you, right? Flake, meaning they're magically busy, they disappear, they block you, they say their phone broke until the end of your trip. It happens not all the time, but it does happen sometimes. So if you're gonna focus on one person, you run the risk of that happening to you, all right? So I'm just slow walking you. That's why I talk to multiple people, because I already have experience and I know you don't want to waste a month talking to somebody and then when you get there, this person disappears. Now you thought your whole trip was going to go one way, now it's going to go another way. So what I do is I just talk to a bunch of people. I'm single, sue me. I don't do it for any malicious purposes or trying to be cool. No, I just do it, just logically thinking. If I have a limited amount of time on the island, I have to use my time wisely. So if somebody's gonna be wasting my time, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, she wasted my time. No, I gotta have something else planned out. I need a plan B and a C and a D and a E and an F. You heard? All right, cool, let's get into the story. All right, so we have a young lady named Julia, and then we have one named Madi. Julia, this is a chick where I've been talking to her. Let me give you a little bit of what we talked about and a little bit of our relationship. We matched on a dating app, and she was just like, hey, oh, I know you. You know, I was in one of your WhatsApp groups, Ray. So once she said WhatsApp groups, I was like, all right, bet. So I can't talk to you. I don't talk to people from my WhatsApp group. That's all I was like thinking. So she's like, yeah, I left the group because those guys, they're just looking for box. Like, they're just looking to play around. I'm looking for something serious. So I'm like, really? I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy I'm sorry that you had that experience. And then she's like, yeah, and I'm mad at you too. I'm like, what'd I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd I do? He's like, yeah, because you put me in that group and you knew that those guys were like that, Ray. And I'm just like, nah, because a lot of the guys told me they're looking for a relationship. maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe you just didn't spark a connection with some of the guys. I don't know, you know. But so she played that I'm mad at you card for a little bit. And I'm just like, whatever. And she's like, but what about you? I want to talk to you. I'm like, I typically don't talk to people that was in my group. But I'm like, you know, I'll entertain it or whatever. So we started talking a little bit. And she's like, oh, where's your girlfriend? Da-da-da-da-da. Why'd you create this group? Like, just a bunch of questions, right? And I'm like, I'm single. I'm chilling. I'm just enjoying life, you know? And then she's like, well, you know, I'm not like these girls in the group. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm different. I'm looking for something serious. Ray. You know, the whole spiel of what they all say. But so I'm like, all right, whatever. Good for you. So we started talking a little bit. I just, you know, I was just playing along because I really made the rule. I don't want to talk to, or I'm not going to take nobody serious that was once in one of my groups. Not because they're bad people. They're amazing. There's good people in there. I just, you know, how does the saying go? Like, don't mix business with pleasure. To me, you know, that group is, I look at it as kind of like business because I'm putting something together so people could meet each other. And, you know, maybe you might meet some cool people in there, but it's not for me to meet people. I'm just admin. I'm just arranging it. I want people to make connections, and you might be in a town. You might need some help. You might want to know what the best restaurants are. And, you know, you got people in the group that actually live in that country. So that's what that's about. But anyways, so boom. All right, we talking. So as we're talking, she's like, yeah, you know, I'm not talking to nobody else. You know, I want to focus on you. You know, I'm looking for a relationship, all this. I'm just like, why me though? Like, you don't know me, why da-da-da-da-da? She's like, I like you, da-da-da-da-da. She's like, you're the reason I left the group. I'm like, stop lying, like, stop the cap, instantly stop. I'm like, how I'm the reason you left the group, but you didn't even message me after leaving the group? Literally had to find you again. I had to like go out. Well, I didn't find you, but we ended up matching on a dating app, and you were once in the group and you didn't message me. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, after all the BS talk, fast forward, she started just sending me pictures and stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then she started sending more pictures, and then it started getting crazy. Like, the pictures started getting like wild stuff, and then pictures turned to videos. And so I'm like, oh, she a pro. She's sending some crazy stuff. She gotta be a pro. And then off the rip, she's like, hey, you know, do you have any girls that might want to do a three-way? You know, I'm into the three-way stuff. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you know, I've been wanting to do one. I never done one, but I always wanted to do one. So I'm like, you never done, but you want to do one with me? Someone that you just met? I'm like, this is kind of crazy. So I'm like, who these people think they running game on, bro? Like, you not running game on me. Like, you're lying. You're full of it. So I told Shorty, I was like, listen, I don't deal with two women at the same time, especially outside of my country, because that could be a safety issue, you know? I'm like, I'm safety first, not thirsty. And then I said, on top of that, when you deal with two women, most likely they're gonna be looking to get paid. So, because what would be the reason two women wanna come and deal with you? They gonna want money. And she was like, well, I'm not that, I'm not looking for money, Ray. But she said I could understand the third girl, if we find another girl, she could be looking for bread. So instantly in my head, I'm like, oh, this is the game you play. You try to act like you're not a pro, and then you bring in another girl, which is a pro, and then you probably say, oh, we gotta pay her, and then y'all later split the money. That's what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the lengths people would go through to not have you think they're a pro, like that's instantly where my brain went. So I'm like, nah, I'm cool. So I like, if I'm gonna do that with you, I'm gonna choose the other girl. And she's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. You can choose a girl. You can bring the other girl. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if she let me choose a girl, that might work. I ended up saying, forget about the 2-girl thing. So every day she would text me pictures, videos, crazy videos. So I'm like, bruh, she gotta be a pro. She has to be. I'm just waiting for the money, like the money joint, right? Whatever. So I just kept going with the flow, all right? And she was doubling down on this. She looking for a boyfriend. She's not a pro. All right, cool. All right, fast forward, boom. I meet someone else. This other person was actually pretty cool. Beautiful, cool. There's only one thing I didn't like. I'm not gonna say it because, man, everybody watches my YouTube. All of a sudden now, people that I talk to, I don't know how they get it, but they get it. So this is an innocent single man just talking. So if you're watching, I have to entertain my audience. This is all just YouTube entertainment. But in reality, yeah, so I met someone and she was actually fire, right? So as I'm talking to her, you know, we get on a video call. I'm like, hey, she look good, everything cool. Again, want something serious, no games, not that play around stuff. But this one is a little bit more like, hey, I don't want you talking to no other Ray. And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna date other people until I'm in a relationship. That's just kind of how I move. But, all right, cool. So we had that one on the back burner just in case, all right? So, boom, fast forward, go to my trip going good, everything cool. So, the second one I met, not the first one, the second one I met, right? The one I kind of just met her. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see her first because I was kind of in her area, you know? So I pulled up on her, we went out to go eat. I knew that, you know, she wasn't available all day, so I just wanted to do a quick lunch. And that quick lunch turned into vibes, right? I'm just gonna say vibe. I'm just trying to keep it general because I don't want nobody crucifying me for watching this. Again, this is just for entertainment purposes if you watch. So anyways, boom, it was a vibe. So I'm like, damn, I actually like this person. So I'm kicking it. Like, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna kick it with her. So we kicking it, right? All right, boom. So the other one, the one that I was thinking in my head, it gotta be a pro. The one I was talking to, that she said she was in the group or whatever. You know, she's like, dang, when we gonna see each other? I'm like, don't worry, I'm gonna see you before the trip is over. Don't worry, I'm busy, you know, I'm running around. I'm a YouTuber, you know, I gotta get my content, I gotta do my thing. So, but I was just thinking, you know, I met someone that's kind of like, like, I got a connection with. All right, bet. So, me and the one that I just met, like, we went out, you know, we went out to go eat and chill, you know, regular stuff like dates. And so we go to this one spot, right? As I walk in, right? I kid you not, I walk in the place, you know, I scan the place, look to my left, okay, cool. I look to my right, boom! It's the other chick that I was talking to. We made eye contact. And I just looked away right away and I act like I ain't see her. And then, mind you, I never met her in person. We was just talking off the pregame. But we were talking like every day. And she's like, when do you land? Like, when am I gonna see you? You know what I'm saying? She's thinking like, oh, this is about to be my boyfriend, whatever. And, you know, I kind of pushed her away for a few days, for the first like 2-3 days of my trip. Because I'm like, I'll see her later. But anyways, I walk in the place holding hands. I walk in there holding hands, you know, with this young lady that I'm basically dating, like going on a date with. And then I see her and then I just, you know, like I said, I look away, I just kept walking. We went to sit down and I was just like, this is crazy. All I was thinking was like, this is crazy. But I said, you know what? That's what they say about Santo Domingo. It's big, but it's small at the same time. And a lot of people go to the same places, right? So, all right, boom. So I'm chilling, you know, I'm a player, I'm just chilling. Later on in the night, I went to the bathroom. Well, and instantly when it happened, I felt my phone buzzing, right? But I ignored it. Of course I ignored it. So finally I go to the bathroom, I look at my phone, that person messaged me, but they deleted it. You guys could talk about that in the comments. Don't you notice, like, when they message you something, and then if you don't message in a certain amount of time, they delete it? I think that's weird. Like, anyways, so I don't know if she regretted what she said or whatever, but she deleted it. So I'm like, all right, there's no message there. But I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of like, oh, I saw you, some whatever. She deleted it, cool. So I went back to my date, and then I left, continued on, and continued my night. Fast forward, after that one leaves and I'm just chilling, automatically I'm thinking to myself, well, that's dead. So I'm like, all right, I lost one, because she literally seen me holding hands and on a date. So I'm just like, yeah, that's dead. So just for the heck of it, I messaged like, yo, what's good? Hey, buenas tardes, whatever. And she was just like, oh, yeah, I saw you. I'm just like, what? She's like, yeah, I saw you holding hands, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? Me? Like, you wild. Are you sure it was me? She's like, you looked at me in my eyes. I'm like, nah, son. She's like, yes, and you know you did. You looked in my eyes. I'm like, oh, what? That's crazy. I'm like, for real? I'm like, I probably didn't notice you, because I never really met you in person. Like, he's like, oh, but who was that girl you was holding hands with? I was just like, it's my date. He's like, oh, and you guys look like very comfortable together and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just like, okay, I'm on a date. Like, and so everything she said, she's like, yeah, and you was all cuddled up with her and da-da-da. I'm like, I'm on a date. Like that's kind of what single men do. We date. Like, I mean, y'all do the same. Like, I'm like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that you don't date other men. She's like, I don't. I was waiting for you, da-da-da-da-da. I was focused on you. I'm looking for something serious. I'm just like, but I'm not the only guy that you talk to. And she's like, yes, you are. I swear. I'm just like, man, get out of here. I'm like, I'm not buying that. I'm like, when people are single, that's kind of what we do. We date, men and women. They date other people. And so she's like, yeah, but that's your girlfriend. By the way you were holding hands, I'm just like, bro, that's just how I move. Like, if I'm on a date, I'm on a date. Like, I'm not just like, it ain't a stranger. Like, we vibing, we kicking it. All right, whatever, cool. So then after that, after like, the mad anger talk, she's like, am I gonna see you? I'm just like, oh, you still wanna see me? So I'm like, I don't know. To me, I don't know. I got a little paranoid because I was like, why does she still want to see me after that, right? So I said, okay, I know why she still wants to see me. It's money, because she's probably a pro. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, I don't know. It seems kind of sketchy, but I was like, if you want to see me, cool, And she's like, yeah, where you at? Da 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 da. And I just felt sketchy. So I gave it a run around for like 2 more days straight, because I was like, I don't know. Something about her, I just don't trust. Like, I'm like, why? You know what I'm saying? All right, whatever. So 2 days later, she's like, you're the same as all the other guys that come in here from other countries, all other foreigners. You're exactly the same. You're just looking for box. You're just trying to clap, like da 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 da. I thought you were different, da 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 da. I'm just like, yo, I just don't trust you. I don't know. It's something weird about you. Like, I don't know. So she's like, you don't trust me? You're the one with other girls and you don't trust me, da 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 da. I'm just like, from a safety perspective, I don't trust you because you're moving, I don't know, you're acting weird. All right, whatever. After a little bit of conversation, I was like, you know what? All right, whatever. She could pull up. Let's see. So she pulls up. Boom. So before she pulled up, she was like, oh, do you think you could help me with some money for my university? I was like, I knew it. I'm like, your university, huh? I'm like, she a pro, man. I'm just like, yo, you be blessed, man. I'm good, man. Have a good one. She's like, no, I just asked you for a favor. I'm not a pro. That's not what that is. Da 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 da. I'm just like, bro, everybody has a different reason why they need money. The end result is money. You're a pro. And she's like, I'm not. No, I'm not. I swear I'm not. I really like you. Da 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 da. I just asked if you could help me with something. And I'm just like, help, you asked me that right before I send you like the location. I'm like, bro, I'm not playing that game, bro. You have a good life, you know what I'm saying? And then she's like, nah, it's not like that. I was like, F that. So I let another day go by because that kind of just turned me off. Other day, she texted me again. So I'm like, dang, she's still on it. So finally, after all the rigmarole, I said, all right, pull up, come through. She came over, you know, cool. She forgot about the whole university thing, but we kicked it. Man, this girl was grilling me the whole time. The whole time. She's like, oh, I seen you with that girl. I couldn't believe it. And this and that. And this girl was this and this and that. I was just like, bro. After a while, I said, hey, listen, are we going to talk about this all night? Like, what are we doing? Like, I didn't invite you here for that. I'm like, I'm on a limited time. If you want to talk all of that, like, we could text. I'm like, you in the flesh. I'm like, can you dead that? Like, can we leave that alone? So she's like, all right, bet. So boom. So after that, boom, you know, took it down. You know what I'm saying? We did you know, we did a salsa dance in our birthday suits. You should catch that. So yeah, we did all that, and then I said, after it was done, I was like, dang, I'm trying to go do something else. Like, you know, you on vacation, you trying to stick and move. So she trying to like low-key cuddle, you know, and do all of that. I'm just like, nah, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It still didn't feel like, I didn't get the girlfriend type of vibe. I more so got like just a clap vibe because, I don't know, her whole vibe was just a little weird. I don't know. I felt like she was a pro trying to prove that she's not a pro. So it felt weird. So I said, yo, I gotta go. You know, I got some stuff I gotta go do. Ray. And she's like, oh my God, you're the same. Oh my God. Like, I'm just like, yo, I told you I was doing something tonight. I told you before you got here. Like, I made that very clear. And then she was trying to like spend the night and do all. I said, bro, I told you, like, I gotta go. I told you what time I'm leaving. I told you everything. And you still came. But she was mad. She was pissed. She left pissed. And she texted me after. She's like, oh, I knew it. You're the same. I can't believe you. And then, you know, I just went out, had some fun with the guys, and that was it. So I gave y'all this story because I thought it was crazy how I seen her in that spot that I was at, in that restaurant. But it was more crazy that she still came through and we still did the salsa dance in our birthday suits. And so it's just another one for the books on the island, man. You just never know what you're gonna get off the island. So yeah, is she a pro? I don't know, but I know. I assume she was. Maybe she's really not. Maybe she just really needed some help with the university. We'll go run and jog and enjoy this weather, this beautiful sunny weather, feet on the ground, hot grass. But let me know what you guys think about this one. If you got a similar story, you can email it to me, ks905tv@gmail.com. I got some emails, I got some stories. I just gotta put them together, guys, and then I'll make them into a story time. Because you gotta really study the stories and stuff like that. So if you sent me a story, I got it, don't worry. I'm working on it. It's your boy Vacation Time with Ryan. Tell me in the comments, if you made it to the end, tell me, where should I go next? I'm looking to go to a country I've never been to. I've been to Jamaica, Canada, obviously USA, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Panama, Brazil, Colombia. So give me one I've never been to, and where should I go next? All right, it's your boy Vacation Time with Ryan. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Giving you real stories from real trips, real situations. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in getting in one of these WhatsApp groups that I speak of, let me know either on Instagram or by email. All right, peace.